everyone, welcome back to Sima Good Empire. Today we are going to be treating on basic bodies, the half scale basic bodies. If this is your first time of joining me on my channel, please kindly help me by subscribing, and there are lots and lots of goodies on this channel. Welcome. So straight to the point, for your basic bodies, the things that you'll be needing are your shoulder to apex, or which is your shoulder to nipple, your shoulder to waist, your bust circumference, your waist circumference, and your hip circumference. So the first thing we are going to be doing is to get to know what we are dividing. You are dividing your shoulder by 2, you are dividing your bust by 4, and you are dividing your hip by 4, and your waist by 4. So I have a shoulder of 16. So it means that I'm dividing my shoulder into 2, which is 8. I'm going to be measuring 8 inches here. But before that, you need to have a starting line. I'm going to be marking from here 2 inches. Now this is my starting line. On this starting line, I'm going to be measuring my shoulder, which is 8 and 8. This is my center back, CB, and this is my center front, CF. So having done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to get my shoulder slope. Now, why do we have a shoulder slope? We have a shoulder slope because the shoulder is not equal. It's slopey. So for the front, I'll come down by 1.5. For the back, I'll come down by 1 inch. Immediately on the spot, I have my shoulder measurement. After that, we get our neck. I'm going to be using 3 inches from the center front by 3 inches. And I'm just going to take it round. For my neck measurement, then I connect it to my shoulder slope. Now on this your starting line, you just come up by half, and then we connect it back to your shoulder slope. Having done that, you go to the back. You go to the back and get your neck measurement. I'm going to be doing 3 inches by 1. Then I'll connect. Then connect my shoulder to my neck. The next thing we are going to be looking at is our armhole depth. How do you get your armhole depth measurement? You are going to be doing your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. So now I'm working with a bust 40. So 40 divided by 6 plus 1.5 gives me 8.1. So what I'm going to do is to come here at the back. I'm going to be taking my 8.1 there, and I'm going to be connecting. Then I'll go to the shoulder line, which is the starting line, and measure what I have there. I have 9.2. So I'll come here in the front and measure 9.2. Then I'll connect with a straight line. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to get the midpoint or mid armhole, which is from your shoulder tip, not your starting line this time. From your shoulder tip, you have your 8.1 divided by 2, you have 4.05. So which is this? I would go in at the back side, at the back by half, which is 0.5. Then I'll go back to my starting line. Please watch this carefully. I'll go back to my starting line and I have 5.1. Then come to my front starting line, measure my 5.1. Then go inward by 0.7. Then I will connect. Having done that, the next part we are going to be moving to is the chest or the bust circumference measurement. Now I'm working with bust 40. 40 divided by 4 gives me 10. So I'm going to start from my center front to measure 10. Then for the back, I'm going to start from my center back to measure 10. Then I'll connect. Having done that, we can say that this part is ready. The next thing we need to get is for our front measurement is to get our shoulder to bust point. It can be your shoulder to nipple, shoulder to apex, whichever one is correct. Now I'm working with shoulder to nipple 11 inches. Now this is my 11 inches. I will just come down by half, 0.5, which is 11.5, and I'm going to be drawing a straight line there. Then I'm going to be measuring the shoulder to waist. The shoulder to waist for front is 17. The shoulder to waist for back is 16.5. Then I'm going to draw a straight line. Having drawn my straight line, so after connecting my lines, the next thing I'm going to do is to impute my waist circumference measurement. And what I have for my waist is 32 divided by 4 gives me 8 inches. So I'll mark my 8 inches here. I'll come to the back. I'll mark my 8 inches. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to connect. Then connect. So having connected my bust to waist for front and bust to waist for back, our basic pattern is almost ready. The next thing we are going to be doing is to fix in our dart. Now the dart has two functions. It can be used for fitting and design, but for this basic bodice we are going to be using it as for fitting. Now how do you get your dart placement for front? Your bust point to bust point. Now the bust point to bust point for this measurement I'm using is 8. I'm going to be dividing 8 into 2, which gives me 4. So from this shoulder to nipple line that I drew here the first time, I'm going to start from the center front, then measure 4. I'll come down to the waistline. I'll measure 4. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to connect with a straight line. Having connected with a straight line, I'll come by this side. I'll take ½ inch, and I'll come by this side. I'll take another ½ inch. Then I'll connect. Then I'll connect. I'll go to the back. There's something called back tightening. What it does is it helps you to have a fitted center back when you are placing your zip, so that your zip does not bulge. And I'm going to come down this waistline. I'm going to go inward from the center front by 1 inch. After doing that, I'm going to connect it to the tip of my back neck. Now I've connected it to the tip of my back neck. The next thing I'm going to be doing is my dart placement. The dart bust point to bust point is 4 inches. So I'm going to be taking my 4 inches. Having done that, I'm going to be stopping 1 inch after my armhole, my chest line. 1 inch after my chest line. So this is 1 inch after my chest line. So it means that this 4 inches stops at this point. That is where you stop your dart. So by this side, I'm going to go in by half, then go in by half again, then connect. then connect. Having done that, we can say that our basic bodice is ready, but we can see that for the front we did shoulder to waist 17, and for the back we did shoulder to waist 16. Now it shows that if you leave it like this, when you want to sew, you will not have your sides will not fit in very well. You are going to come to this your shoulder to nipple line, which is this one, this line. You're going to do the difference between your shoulder to waist front and shoulder to waist back, which means that since the shoulder to waist here is 17 and shoulder to waist here is 16 and half, I'm going to be doing 17 minus 16 and half, which will give me half. So on this bust line for the front, I would come down here by half, then connect it this way. Having done that, I would cut. So thank you for watching.